Welcome back. It's time for us to take a quick look at what's happening on the covers of the newspapers this morning. Today is Monday, April 29th, 2024. We have Mike Mesikeno here with us as well.
Yeah, okay. So
let's start with The Guardian. Right. Good to go. It says here, FX rates harmonization. CBN abandons unification policy, reintroduces discriminatory rates. Page 6 has more on that. And it does have a little infographic there talking about the customs rate for duty clearance being 1,164 naira per dollar, and Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market, that's NAFEM, having 1,339.23 per dollar, and then the Bureau de Change having 1,021. I don't know, it's still a little bit confusing, and there's still a lot of questions to be answered about that particular policy and how it's going to be implemented because of the differences. It's such a wide gap, actually, in differences in rates. Now, we also have this story. It says here, investors of 15 listed firms to forfeit 2023 dividends. Those are on the business pages. A presidential fleet gulps $8 million in 2 years amid safety concerns. Page 3 has more on that. Mixed reactions trail UK-Rwanda asylum operation. Now, we heard last week that Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, said essentially he was going to start shipping out asylum seekers from the UK to Rwanda. Yeah. And it was a little bit alarming because a lot of people opposing this particular policy was saying it's the same money you could have just invested in making them comfortable in the country, and the comfortable in quote, that you're going to use to fly them out. It's still millions of pounds being spent. So what's the use?
It's about their comfort. I mean, the UK has cut back on a lot of things that have to do with immigration. I mean, you saw that at the beginning of this year, they stopped students coming in with dependents.
Yeah.
So they're trying to cut back on people moving into the UK, trying to reduce the number. So it's not about making them comfortable. It's about trying to make sure that they don't come more and reduce the ones that are there. So they are looking out for themselves.
So there's also there's a photo story here, and I'm going to touch on the photo story, and you'll understand why in a second. Now, the Pan Atlantic University had an event over the weekend, a graduation ceremony at Lagos Business School, which was on Saturday, and the president of the Pan Atlantic Alumni Association, Mr. Agbemileke Oscar Onyison, is in that picture. I just wanted to throw that in there. All right, then. Now we have also this story. 2 notorious drug kingpins bag life jail sentence for cocaine trafficking. We mentioned that earlier in the news bulletin. And it also says here, APC kicks as PDP wins all seats in Oyo local government poll. All right, then. What do we have on the other paper?
All right, the Nation here, the major thing is petrol scarcity spreads to Lagos, Oyo, Ondo, Osun, Edo, and others. That is not good news. I mean, considering the issues we're having now with power generation, the fuel is what we're hoping on next. So, marketers resume product lifting from the depots. NNPCL, there is sufficient stock. So there's been talk about the price and some things why the marketers don't want to lift fuel. I don't know the exact reason why, but you would have to read here to understand it. So, so that's it. Petrol scarcity, everyone's complaining. How Port's single window policy will boost economy. PDP wins all 33 council seats in Oyo. Shareholders okay, Zenith Bank hold co-structure transition. We see here electricity crisis. Lagos, Edo, Oyo await NERC nod. NERC's nod. Bandits and terrorists killed 90 policemen in 1 year. How banks plan to meet recapitalization conditions. CBN deadline ends tomorrow. All of this on the front page of the Nation. Yeah. So,
all right.
Fuel scarcity, that's just the major thing. And man, this is not the time for that.
Definitely not.
I mean, still we're talking about how even last night, because of the electricity issues, with the discos trying to set themselves up. So fuel is basically the fallback option. I mean, on a normal day, we should be using solar, as it were. We have enough of sun. Someone even said that, I was talking to someone, the person was talk about the drawbacks of solar, like when rain falls. I was like, even in the rainiest of days, we still have sun shining through. You know, it might not be as much as it is on the other place, but now we should have learned how to harness the power of the sun even much more than we are doing, and reduce the dependence on fuel. As it were.
Now, a lot of countries also use wind energy. You know, they have wind turbines.
All of that.
There's definitely a lot of other options.
So you look at what works for you. If you're in an area where the monsoon and all the winds are very strong, let's make it work for us. We have the sun. We have to make it. In fact, I think which country in Europe? I think it was Scandinavia, where they are now using solar panels as fences. Why?
Wow.
Because there is the there is the solar panels are now so much, especially the ones that go from China. They're now so much in the country that even after putting on their roofs and all that, they just use them
as fences. Wow, amazing.
And I'm like, whoa, and
amazing.
You know, so you know.
All right, let's move on to, we have the Daily Trust, similar headline here. Petrol scarcity worsens nationwide. Depots have run out of stock, say marketers. We are not in short supply, say NNPCL. So two different opposing views there.
But different people, you know. NNPCL is saying that the marketers decided not to come and restock. And then the marketers are saying that, okay, they don't have stock in the depots. So you'd want to read this to see if you can have a greater understanding of what is happening here. There's
an infographic, as is the norm on the cover of the Daily Trust. They often have breakdowns, visualized breakdowns there. And it shows Abuja, Lagos, Ogun, Ondo, Plateau, Cross River, Ekiti, Kwara, and Kano, and the prices of fuel, or rather, the prices in liters of PMS in some states. And also NBS, that's the Bureau of Statistics, talks about how prices of rice, meat, and gari rose in March. We're hoping it comes down. We've been hearing about the price of rice, in the very least, coming down in some areas, and hopefully it'll be a downward decline from here on out. Can only be hopeful. At this point, we have to wrap it up on the covers of the dailies. Thanks, Mike.